Imagine a world where the most shocking, terrifying, and seemingly impossible military conspiracies aren't just theories. They're cold, hard facts. Today, we're diving into the jaw-dropping truth behind 9 unbelievable military conspiracy theories that the world thought were fiction but turned out to be chillingly real. You won't believe what's been hidden in plain sight all this time. Welcome to our channel, where we uncover the untold truths and explore the dark secrets that have shaped our world. If you love diving into history's mysteries, conspiracies, and the unknown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Today, we're peeling back the layers on some of the most shocking military conspiracies that were once dismissed as mere paranoia, until the truth was finally revealed. So, buckle up and prepare to be stunned. Throughout history, the military has often operated behind a veil of secrecy, driven by the need to protect national security and maintain strategic advantages over potential adversaries. However, this secrecy has also given rise to a fertile breeding ground for conspiracy theories, some of which have turned out to be shockingly true. These aren't just the ramblings of paranoid minds. They are carefully documented events that, for years, were either denied or covered up by those in power. The military, with its vast resources and covert operations, has been at the center of some of the most unsettling revelations in modern history. Imagine being told that the government you trust has been secretly conducting mind control experiments on its own citizens, or that it staged fake terrorist attacks on American soil to justify going to war. Consider the implications of learning that Nazi war criminals were not only spared from justice but were actively recruited by the US government to help build its technological empire. These are not the plot lines of a dystopian novel. They are real events that have been hidden in the shadows, only to be brought to light years later. The truth behind these military conspiracies is not just alarming. It's a sobering reminder of the lengths to which governments will go to achieve their objectives. Whether it's manipulating public opinion, engaging in illegal arms deals, or covering up the use of deadly chemicals, these actions reveal a dark underbelly of power that most citizens never see. The revelations we're about to delve into are not just historical footnotes. They are cautionary tales about the dangers of unchecked authority and the potential for abuse in the name of national security. In this video, we'll explore 9 military conspiracy theories that started as whispers in the dark but eventually exploded into the public consciousness as undeniable truths. Each of these stories serves as a shocking reminder that sometimes, the most unbelievable ideas are grounded in reality. From mind control experiments to secret arms deals, these conspiracies will challenge your understanding of history and make you question what other secrets might still be lurking in the shadows. So, prepare yourself for a journey into the hidden corners of military history, where the line between truth and fiction is blurred, and where the most alarming conspiracies turn out to be shockingly real. Without further ado, let's dive in. 1. Operation Paperclip. The recruitment of Nazi scientists after the fall of Nazi Germany in 1945. The world was horrified by the atrocities committed during the war, particularly by the scientists who conducted brutal experiments on prisoners. Yet, in a shocking twist, the US government decided that these very scientists held the key to future technological supremacy. Thus began Operation Paperclip, a secret initiative to smuggle over 1,600 Nazi scientists into the United States under new identities. These scientists were not only forgiven for their war crimes but were also given prominent positions in American research facilities. Their expertise contributed to significant advancements in rocket technology, which played a crucial role in the space race. The true horror lies in the fact that men who had been responsible for some of the most heinous war crimes were now working for the very nation that had fought against their tyranny. This chilling reality was hidden from the public for decades, until declassified documents revealed the full extent of the operation, leaving many questioning the ethical boundaries of wartime decisions. 2. The Gulf of Tonkin Incident. A manufactured justification for war, the Gulf of Tonkin incident is one of the most controversial events in U.S. military history, largely because it was the spark that ignited full-scale American involvement in the Vietnam War. On August 4, 1964, the U.S. government reported that North Vietnamese forces had launched unprovoked attacks on 2 American destroyers. This incident was used to justify the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, which gave President Lyndon B. Johnson the authority to escalate U.S. military presence in Vietnam. However, it was later revealed that the second attack never actually happened. The US government had manipulated the truth, using the fear of communism to rally public support for a war that would lead to over 1 million deaths. The deception was so effective that it took years for the truth to surface, with declassified documents exposing how the incident had been fabricated to serve political and military agendas. The Gulf of Tonkin incident stands as a stark reminder of how easily the truth can be twisted to justify war. 3. MK-Ultra. The CIA's mind control experiments. MK-Ultra is perhaps one of the most horrifying examples of government overreach and abuse of power. This secret CIA program, which ran from the 1950s through the 1970s, was designed to develop mind control techniques for use in interrogation and psychological warfare. The methods employed were nothing short of nightmarish. Unwitting civilians were subjected to drugging, electroshock therapy, and sensory deprivation in attempts to break down their mental state and control their behavior. The most infamous of these experiments involved the use of LSD, which was administered to people without their consent or knowledge, often with devastating psychological consequences. The full extent of the program remained hidden for years, with the CIA denying its existence. However, in 1975, a series of investigations and declassified documents blew the lid off MK-Ultra, revealing the terrifying lengths to which the US government had gone in its quest for control. The revelations were so shocking that they led to widespread public outrage and a permanent scar on the CIA's reputation. 4. Operation Northwoods. A plan to stage attacks on US soil. Operation Northwoods is perhaps one of the most alarming examples of how far a government might go to manipulate public opinion. In the early 1960s, at the height of the Cold War, US military leaders proposed a plan so shocking that it reads like the plot of a dystopian novel. Operation Northwoods involved staging fake terrorist attacks on American soil, including the bombing of civilian targets and the hijacking of planes. The idea was to make these attacks look like they were orchestrated by Cuba, thereby justifying a US invasion to overthrow Fidel Castro. The plan was signed off by the Joint Chiefs of Staff and presented to President John F. Kennedy, who ultimately rejected it. Thankfully, Operation Northwoods was never executed, but the fact that it was even conceived by the highest levels of military leadership is chilling. The documents detailing this terrifying plan were declassified in the 1990s, shocking the public and forever altering the way many viewed their government's capacity for deception. 5. The Manhattan Project. Concealing the atomic bomb. The Manhattan Project stands as one of the most secretive and ambitious military undertakings in history, but its success came at the cost of extreme secrecy and moral ambiguity. Initiated during World War II, the project was the United States' top-secret endeavor to develop the first atomic bomb. The scale of the project was enormous, involving thousands of scientists and engineers working in isolated locations across the country. The secrecy was so intense that many of those involved didn't fully understand what they were working on until the bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Even more alarming was the fact that Vice President Harry Truman was kept in the dark about the project until he became president. The successful detonation of the bomb marked a turning point in global warfare, but it also revealed the terrifying power that governments could wield in complete secrecy. The true extent of the Manhattan Project was not fully revealed until after the war, shocking the world with the knowledge that such a devastating weapon had been developed in utter silence. 6. Agent Orange. The deadly herbicide. During the Vietnam War, the US military employed a chemical weapon known as Agent Orange, a powerful herbicide designed to strip the dense jungles of their foliage and expose enemy troops. However, the true horror of Agent Orange lay not just in its intended use, but in its deadly side effects. The chemical contained dioxin, a highly toxic compound that caused severe health problems, including cancer, birth defects, and neurological disorders, not only for the Vietnamese population but also for the American soldiers who were exposed to it. For years, the US government denied the dangers of Agent Orange, leaving veterans and civilians alike to suffer in silence. It wasn't until years later that the full extent of the damage was acknowledged, leading to a long and painful fight for justice and compensation. The Agent Orange scandal is a grim reminder of the devastating impact of chemical warfare and the government's initial reluctance to take responsibility for its actions. 7. The U-2 spy plane incident. A cover-up unveiled. The U-2 spy plane incident of 1960 is a classic example of a cover-up gone wrong. The U.S. was engaged in covert surveillance of the Soviet Union during the height of the Cold War, using high-altitude U-2 planes to gather intelligence. When one of these planes was shot down over Soviet airspace, the U.S. government quickly concocted a cover story, claiming the plane was merely a weather research aircraft that had veered off course. This lie was soon exposed when the Soviet government revealed that they had captured the pilot, Gary Powers, along with his plane, which was intact enough to reveal its true purpose. The incident not only embarrassed the U.S. on the world stage but also escalated tensions between the two superpowers. The U-2 incident is a stark reminder of the risks involved in espionage and the lengths to which governments will go to hide the truth, even when the cover-up is doomed to fail. 8. The Iran-Contra affair. A secret arms deal. The Iran-Contra affair is one of the most infamous political scandals in U.S. history, revealing a complex web of illegal activities and cover-ups at the highest levels of government. During the 1980s, senior U.S. officials secretly facilitated the sale of arms to Iran, despite an arms embargo, with the goal of securing the release of American hostages. The profits from these sales were then funneled to support the Contras, a rebel group in Nicaragua, despite a congressional ban on such funding. This covert operation was a direct violation of both domestic and international law. When the scandal was uncovered in 1986, it sent shockwaves through the nation, leading to multiple investigations and the conviction of several top officials. The Iran-Contra affair exposed the lengths to which the government was willing to go to achieve its geopolitical goals, even if it meant breaking the law and deceiving the public. 9. Operation Mockingbird. The CIA's media manipulation Operation Mockingbird is one of the most disturbing examples of government manipulation of the media, blurring the lines between journalism and propaganda. Starting in the 1950s, the CIA launched this covert program to recruit journalists and infiltrate major news organizations, both in the United States and abroad. The goal was to influence public opinion and spread disinformation that aligned with the CIA's objectives. For decades, this program operated in the shadows, with the American public completely unaware that the news they trusted was being shaped by a government agenda. The extent of Operation Mockingbird's reach was staggering, with the CIA reportedly having hundreds of journalists on its payroll. The program only came to light in the 1970s, following a series of congressional investigations. The revelation that the media had been so thoroughly compromised shook the public's trust in the press and raised serious ethical questions about the role of government in shaping public perception. These are just 9 of the many military conspiracy theories that turned out to be true, proving that sometimes, the most outlandish ideas have a disturbing basis in reality. As more information becomes declassified, who knows what other shocking truths might come to light? If you found this video as eye-opening as we did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the hidden corners of history. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and always question the official story.